I think Checkster is a very key to the future of how we do reference checking. Checkster has a much more sound approach, a consistent approach, one that can be audited more effectively. One of the benefits of Checkster that has to do with solving a traditional process has to do with how employers go about getting information from referrals and references. And I think Checkster has a much more sound approach, a consistent approach, one that can be audited more effectively. And I'm convinced that the employer themselves are going to get better, more valid, clearer information in the use of the process. One of the things that in the recruiting process we've lost sight of is the engagement of the individual who is part of the selection process, the job seeker. And what Checkster actually does is it engages the job seeker to go through a process that allows him or her to see the extent to which they're competitive for the job. Few and far between do we really give good quality feedback to job seekers, finalists in our process. And actually we really don't train our recruiters well enough to provide good quality feedback in the recruitment process. Checkster actually not only aids the recruiters in the selection process, but aids the job seeker in being able to understand how they compete more effectively for the job based upon the kind of feedback that's coming in. I think that's huge. I think it's powerful. And I think it's a missing piece to the recruitment process that Checkster can add to. I also think that what we're really looking at potentially is, and as we discussed earlier, the ability to not only to take a point in time, which is when they're applying for the job, but also down the road, really taking a look down the road to see and help those individuals improve in their ongoing and onboarding to the job, I think provides a tremendous opportunity as well. I think Checkster is a very key to the future of how we do reference checking. I think that there's no question in my mind that as we identify very, very specific aspects of a person's background, there are some things that are very easy to identify that are data driven, like whether or not the individual has a degree, etc. But there is a difficult piece, and that has to do with really focusing in on that individual's capability to perform. They may have a degree, they may have all the certifications, they may have had specific skills, experience, and knowledge that is required for the job, but will they put that together as a package and actually perform on the job? And the reality is the extent to which they have done that in the past, as seen and perceived by people that that have participated with them, I think is a huge step forward in terms of a recruitment process, and how we embed that into our recruitment process is critical. When I look at issues like peer assessment, for example, Checkster often is categorized as a kind of a reference checking approach. But the reality is it's much more than that. It provides a platform for individuals to collect, organize, and analyze peer data. And this kind of assessment is really what staffing leaders all over the world are trying to get at, and that is improve their capability to assess the capabilities, the knowledge, the experience, and the attitudes of individuals who are moving towards a more performance-driven environment. And there's no question that peer assessment has significant added value. So looking at Checkster not just for its reference checking capabilities, but for an ongoing approach in terms of peer assessment over time has, I think, some unique advantages for bridging the gap in terms of the silos that we see ourselves in recruiting as well as learning and development. When it comes to recommending a new process, especially one that involves new technology, I can say with absolute confidence that recruiters who are traditional, recruiters who are really focused in on following a 20, 30, 40-year-old process should absolutely not try Checkster, nor should they try anything else. What they should do is go find another career. What we really are looking at is a sea change in how recruiting is done. And it seems to me that every single recruiter and recruiting leader should be examining the possibilities of how new technology can enhance their ability to source, their ability to engage, their ability to understand the performance and the quality of the candidates that they bring forward into the organization. Checkster offers a potential solution around that. And to not try new ideas, to me, is just crazy.